students. In our last lecture, we covered the various mode to enter into foreign exchange market or for foreign trade. Now we are going to cover the various measures adopted by Government of India to promote the export. Export promotion occupy a significant place in Indian economic policy. आपने देखा होगा कि हमारी जो import export policies हैं, they are focused on how to increase our export. Okay, so Government of India have taken several steps to promote our exports, and they take all these steps because it help in you increasing your foreign exchange. क्योंकि आप export अगर increase करेंगे, ठीक है, आप सेल ज़्यादा करेंगे तभी आपको फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मिलेगा, और किसी भी इकोनॉमी की बैकबोन है फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, हमारा बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट को फेवरेबल बनाने के लिए. ठीक है, इट हेल्प यू टू अर्न मोर, इट ऑल्सो क्रिएट अ एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, and it also help to increase your GDP, and it is also help you to utilize your country resource better way. ठीक है, so they offered various types of facilities, incentives to the export, so they increase their export. ठीक है, they give n number of services to the exporters. Here there are various measures that they used for export promotions are classified like import facilitation schemes, export incentives, export houses, and your production assistance, your marketing assistance, and all. And we are going to cover these one by one. Now start with import facilitation scheme. Basically, the objective of this scheme is to improve the competitiveness of Indian firm by assisting in the import of input, and by you can say capital equipments at a very low cost. तो ये स्कीम आपको हेल्प कर रही है आपके इनपुट्स और कैपिटल इक्विपमेंट्स को इंपोर्ट करने में, बिकॉज इट विल गोइंग टू हेल्प यू इन योर एक्सपोर्ट. लाइक export promotion capital good scheme is there in this, which is in short known as a EPCG scheme. Basically, this scheme help exporter to import a capital goods with zero import duty for the purpose of production of your export products, and certain rates of relaxation is also allowed to sell in a local market after if you fulfill their export obligations. And under this export value is at least 6 times of your duty saved on capital goods imported. It is mandatory for this scheme, and for this exporters need to verify this value. Okay, the export obligation they need to verify within the 6 year of issuing date. The aim of this scheme is to enable exporter to create or to upgrade their production facility at the very low cost. That's why these facilities are given by the government. Then advance authorization scheme is there. Under this scheme, it allow you to duty-free import of inputs, and that get a physical incorporated into your export product. जो फिज़िकली आपके एक्सपोर्ट प्रोडक्ट में इंकॉर्पोरेट कर रहे हैं हम इनपुट्स, उनमें जो है ड्यूटी फ्री इंपोर्ट आपको अलाउ कर रहा है. एंड बेसिकली इट इंक्लूड ऑयल, फ्यूल एक्सेट्रा. द वैल्यू एडिशन ऑफ दिस इनपुट इज जनरली मेजर्ड एज पर द स्टैंडर्ड इनपुट आउटपुट नॉर्म्स, विच इन शॉर्ट वी कैन से SIDN, or you can also use a self declaration based on which the exemption is provided. Minimum 50% value addition is required to achieve this advanced authorization facility, and it is issued on the basis of the annual requirement of the exporter for a physical export or intermediary supplies or a deemed export. And advanced license for annual requirement is entitled only for 1 to 5 star export houses in this category, and period for fulfillment of this export obligation is 18 month. जिस डेट से आपको ये इशू हुआ है ऑथराइजेशन, उसके 18 मंथ में यू नीड टू फुलफिल दिस एक्सपोर्ट ऑब्लिगेशंस. क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स? Then there are several export incentives that government is providing, like duty drawback. Under this scheme, it provide a refund to the exporter on the customs or excise duties paid on imports, raw material, services that they used in their export product. Okay, under this scheme, under this the re-export of the import goods should happen within a stipulated time period, which is for to become eligible for your duty drawback. Means जो आपने export करने के लिए अगर आपने कुछ inputs, raw materials और सर्विसेज अगर आपने ली है, इंपोर्ट करा है, तो उसमें आपको ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक मिल रहा है. मीन्स वट एवर ड्यूटी यू हैव पेड यू गेट इट बैक. ठीक है. And there are two rates for duty drawback. One is your all industry rate and second is your brand rate. Generally all industry rate is applicable to all the exporters in the same way, but in case of brand rate it is applicable only to a particular manufacturer. It is not applicable to all. And for brand rate, it is generally fixed when the exporter submits some required information to the authorities, and it is done in if there is no all industry rate for that particular product. At that time we use it. Then government use excise rebate also. Excise rebate in this finished goods which is meant for your home consumptions are exempt from excise duty. ठीक है, when they are exported, अगर वो export करें तो they are exempted from this. And under this scheme they get benefit by two way. One is the export under bond, and second is the refund of duty. Export under bond means the exporter has to execute a bond in favor of central excise authority, and in refund of duty he can file a claim for a refund after making a export. Means bond के केस में क्या है, he is not going to pay any duty initially. ठीक है, they just take the facility of bond, but in case of refund of duty they need to pay and after that they claim back. And another facility is duty entitlement passbook, which is in short known as DEPB. Also, the main aim of this scheme is to neutralize the custom duty whichever you have paid on your import content which is used in your export product. ठीक है, तो दे by this you grant a credit to the exporter, and this will help the exporter. You can say the exporter can use this credit, whatever credit they get by this scheme, or you can say they earned to import any freely importable commodity without any payment of the custom duty in future. Means जो credit आपको मिला है इसमें duty entitlement passbook में, you can use it for import purpose in future. And another scheme is the duty free replenishment certificate, which in short known as a DFRC. An exporter is allowed to import imports without the payment of custom duty in this, and for this the certificate is issued against the exports already they have made, and it is valid for 2 years. And another benefit is duty free import authorization, and this scheme was introduced in May 2006, and it has a combined feature of your advance authorization and duty free replenishment certificate. And this scheme permit a duty free import of required inputs before they export. Then another way is served from India scheme is there. This scheme is used to accelerate the export of services or to create a unique and a powerful served from India brand, which is recognized and respected throughout the world. For that, this scheme was introduced. Then we have another scheme which is come under focus product scheme. And under this scheme, the various incentives are given to the exporters of the product having a high employment potential, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. And under another scheme, focus market scheme, this scheme is to facilitate penetration of strategic market in which Indian exporters are comparatively very low. Actually, this scheme enhance the Indian exporter competitiveness in such market. Okay, the high freight cost and other constraints are offset by this particular scheme. Moreover, Indian government also provide export awards, various types of export awards to promote more exports and to encourage, you can say, to recognize the excellence of the exporters and to encourage them. Okay, students. And next is the status holder. Status holder, you can also known as export houses, and they have a status category on the basis of their free on board export performance. 1 star export house, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star export house. Basically, status holder schemes is for a business leader who have excelled and who are very good in international trade and have successfully contribute to the country foreign trade, which contribute a lot for encouraging the foreign trade. And these are the various benefits which status holder are getting. And basically they provide national recognition to establish exporters under this scheme. Duty entitlement passbook scheme, they can avail a advanced license for physical export, intermediate supplies, or deem export. Automatic license are there, legal undertakings are there. So these all are the various facility. They are also allowed to establish their export warehouses. They also provide bank guarantees and all. These are the facilities which are provided to them because they contribute a lot for foreign trade, country foreign trade. Then another assistance is a production assistance. Under production assistance, export processing zone are set up, export orientation unit are set up for availing various types of services and all. And making raw material and other inputs of a good quality at a reasonable price, at a reasonable way. And they provide a provision for infrastructure for the growth of your export oriented industries. And various electronic hardware technology parks, software technology parks are also set up under this. And another way is a marketing assistance they are getting from government of India, like for market development and for market access initiatives. They provide the various promotional schemes in abroad on a product basis. And foreign exchange facilities are also provided them to develop the foreign to develop foreign travel tours and all, so they can promote their export advertising. And export credit is also given to them. Brand acquisition fund is there, which helps exporter to acquire a global brand. And credit insurance schemes are there, which is under export credit guaranteed corporation, which cover political and commercial risk for the exporters. All these are the assistance which are provided to the exporters to promote export. And another things is organizations which help to promote the export, like government of India established and also sponsored various organizations which covered under these heads, three heads: advisory board bodies, promotional organization, and service institutions. And in first we take advisory bodies. Advisory bodies generally are set up to advise the government or formulate the foreign trade policies. And under this, the main advisory bodies are board of trade, which provide consultative services or recommendations in policy measures to increase export. Industry specific measures are also given to improve export. There is export promotion boards are there. Generally this board was set up by the Ministry of Commerce. Its main function is to coordinate the activities of different authorities for the effective execution of your export related matter. Then there is another Director General of Anti Dumping and Allied Duties, which is set up in April 1988, which investigate or to recommend the amount of anti-dumping duties or countervailing duties. And another is Director General of Foreign Trade, which is known as a DGFT. Also, basically, this is responsible for execution of your export-import policy of the government. Then they have a Central Advisory Council on Trade, which advise in your export and import policy, operations of import and export control, or organization and development of your commercial services. Then we have a promotional organizations. Under promotional organization, we have Export Promotion Council, which is a non-profit organization set up under your Company Act. Basically, this organization look how to prevent export of specific commodity, and how to promote the interest of the member exporter. They actually serve as a link between the government and the exporters. Then this basically Export Promotion Council arrange supplies for of raw material. They secure assistance under Market Development Assistance Scheme. They are acting as an advising member. They locate the supplier for importers and all. And another way is a commodity board. Basically this board are set up for important commodities like your coffee, jute, tea, rubber, which guide their production and export. And there's a development authorities also. These authorities work for the production, development, and export promotion of the commodity concern. Then Government of India have various service institutions also. These service institutions basically are a service provider in market research, in a publicity, in quality control, in packaging to the exporters. The main institutions are like Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, which look after the training of their personals in a modern technique of international trade, and is sponsoring a suitable personals for training abroad in export management. Then we have Indian Institute of Packaging, which is known as IIP. Basically, the main function of this institute is to create a awareness among the exporter about packaging. It undertake various types of research on raw material that they are using in packaging and how to improve the packaging standards. Then we have Indian Trade Promotional Organization also, which is known as ITPO, which develop and promote export, import, and technology through the various trade fairs in India, or you can say in abroad also. Then they organize a visit for foreign buyers, trade delegations to promote the trade contract. Then we have a Federation of Indian Export Organizations. This is known as a apex body also, which serve as a common coordinating firm for Export Promotion Council, your commodity board, and your service institutions. Then we have a Export Inspection Council, which look after the quality measures, and it make it compulsory for pre-shipment inspection of a specific good export from India. And we have a Export Credit Guarantee Corporation also, which provide a credit guarantee to exporter and their banks. Then we have a Indian Council of Arbitration also, and basically this is set up under the Society Registration Act, which main function is to promote the arbitration as a means of settling any commercial dispute if they have. And it is basically to popularize the arbitration among the importer and exporters. So students, All these are the organization set up which help us to promote our export, which is set up by the government of India. And we have another schemes also, you can say, like special economic zone we have, which we are going to cover in our next lecture. Hope you understand all this. If you have any doubt, kindly contact me.